We covered that Fox News poll of battleground states, Arizona, Wisconsin, and elsewhere, which showed Trump down by pretty sizable margins. Well, it's always interesting when the Fox News poll happens because the Trump campaign can't be like fake news, CNN. Well, very interesting moment. The Trump campaign manager, Bill Stepien himself, went on Fox to dispute Fox's polls. Let's take a listen.
Bill, when you look at these polls, how different are they from what you look at?
Very different. And listen, I love Fox. I love Fox News. I love you guys. I don't love your polls. You know, I'm a former pollster. When I look at the methodology,
what don't you like about it?
28% of those who voted in 2016 were Democrats. The Arizona poll that you're citing includes 48% Democrats. So the methodology is a little askew. Look, here's the fact. If Joe Biden was actually winning by 9 points in Arizona, he wouldn't be visiting Arizona later next week.
I mean, that's pretty faulty logic. And we've talked about here, yes, sampling errors do happen, but on the battleground state level, there are adjustments and so much more. And no one's surmising that he's actually up by 9.
Right.
Within the margin, we're saying, hey, look, the Real Clear Politics average on here does not look good for you. I think that is a reasonable thing. It just, something that they do, which drives me crazy, is they'll say something like, oh, well, Trump was only ahead in 16 out of 2,000 polls that was taken in 2016. I mean, the guy lost the popular vote by 2%, right? So, he didn't actually win the national popular vote. Yes, many of the state polls were off by 3-4%. Or he outperformed his national polls by 2%, which translated to a large, gap in the first 3 battleground states. It's not that complicated to understand what happened in 2016. I just think it's a lot of gaslighting on this one.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just to be clear, the thing he's saying about, they surveyed this many Democrats when only that many showed up in 2016. Well, pollsters, and look, no one's saying this is all perfect. It's an art, it is a science, but also you have to make calculations. They're not perfect. They got the key battleground states a couple points wrong last time around, but they make adjustments to reflect what they expect the electorate to be. So when someone says, there were too many Democrats in this poll, that's not telling the whole story of the way that they screen and adjust for things like party identification. They also adjust for this time, this was one of the big misses last time, is they didn't screen for education. This time they're added that in, most pollsters anyway. So it reminds me, though, of, you actually pointed me to this piece from Matt Taibbi, the Trump era sucks and needs to be over. He leads by being like, Fox News anchors have become the voice of reason at time in this era. And I think this is a perfect example of that. He pulled an exchange between Donald Trump and Laura Ingraham. We've certainly played a few on this show where they're like, Joe Biden does not want to defund the police. What are you talking about? Yeah. Where actually it's fallen on the Fox News anchors to be the ones that are like, okay, that's too far even for us. So I think this is another perfect example of that.
There you go. All right.
More Rising for you after this.